How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, there is a new Mercedes CLS. It's got a little bit of a facelift for 2022 with a revised front end look. Now, the base rear-wheel drive CLS450 and the AMG versions are both gone from the US. However, they're still being sold in Europe, and the only one that's left here is for 2022 is the all-wheel drive CLS450 format. Now, of course, we're going to talk about the design mostly in this video, and I want to redesign both the front and the rear as well, just a little bit, just to tweak it around a little bit, have some fun. But before we do that, let's talk about the remaining version for 2022 here. If you still want the AMG 53 engine in a Mercedes sedan, you can still get it in the E53 AMG sedan, obviously. The styling updates for 2022 are very subtle, with, for example, a new bumper and grille design that now features tiny little small three-pointed stars in the grille. I think it looks pretty cool. The 2022 CLS 450 will be equipped with the same 362 horsepower turbocharged 3-liter inline-six from last year, and will be available only with all-wheel drive now as standard, and we can expect it to go on sale early to 2022 here in the US with a starting price around $75,000. Now, let's talk about the design of the CLS. I think it's a special car. I'm pretty sure it was one of the first sedan coupes, as they call them, I guess, or sportbacks, where you have a sedan-looking roofline, but it's still a four-door car. So technically, it's not a coupe, but you know, anything can be called a coupe these days, I guess. Whether you have the SUV coupes and you have what have you. There's a lot of different coupes in today's world, but the first generation CLS, I think it looked pretty good. The problem that I have with this is it's starting to move away more and more from what I think Mercedes is. If you look at design philosophies all across the world, you have the American way of styling cars, you have the European way of styling cars, and you have the Asian or Korean, Japanese way of styling cars. And this is starting to look more like an Asian stylized car. And I'm going to go into the reasons why just here in a second. So we can start here with the front end, for example. So let's talk about the design. What I don't really like with, not the E-Class either, the new E-Class has the same issue. Let me just show you here. I think this is easiest. So if you look at the front end here, you have a lot of frowning angles, meaning it goes like this, like the pyramid angle. It goes up to a corner, to some point up here. So all the features of the front end in the new CLS 450 and the E-Class, they're pointing up. Let's just really simplify the graphics of the car, and let me show you what I'm talking about here. So if we have the front graphics like this, and we have the grille, the headlights, and the lower bumper, the air intakes, everything is just pointing up. We have the car looking something like this. So this would be the headlights on one side. Here we have the grille, and it would do the same thing on the other side right here. And then we would have still nothing to balance all those angles out, because at the bumper, if you look at the bumper on the lower part of the CLS, the angles there are also pointing in the same direction. So we have more angles pointing up in the rear end at the bottom of the front face, and it's not really Mercedes. It's not elegant as I think Mercedes should be. So what I want to do is a very simple solution. This is the front face, very basic, obviously, and simplified. But what I want to do in this redesign is, let's say we take this upper part of the front face, and I just want to do something really simple. Let's just switch them upside down and bring back the old classic Mercedes look, like we have something like this. And as you can see, when we do that, we get some balance here now in the relationship between the front, the top graphics of the car and the lower bumper graphics of the car. Not all angles here are pointing upwards anymore. So we have some sort of centering lines. The lines are pointing to the center now instead of just pointing all of them up in the air. So let me show you on the Mercedes what I mean with the upward pointing angles. It might be a bit complicated to explain, but I think the graphics here, that was supposed to simplify this whole thing. So we have the angle here of the headlights and the side angle of the grille. They're all pointing up, and we have a slightly tilted angle in the bottom part of the bumper, but it's still pointing upwards. So these angles up here are the ones I want to create and change to something like this instead, and have the headlights be elegant and beautiful and have that connection with the grille, and then create maybe I want to have some something that frames the front end. So I think I'm gonna do something like this, lower this angle a little bit, create more of a traditional Mercedes headlight like this, and then I want to have a chamfer that goes into the lower part of the grille down here underneath the headlights, so it looks like the headlights is sitting inside of the body of the car. It frames the headlights, and that chamfer down here is, in my opinion, is going to have a connection with this line of the lower part of the grille, and that way we create a wraparound framing of the top part of the front face, which I think is going to suit Mercedes better than this. Another thing that I want to add to the CLS here is the shoulder line. I think it's too soft, and the mass of the body itself, if you look at the mass here of the body of the car, it's so massive compared to the height of the greenhouse right there. I think it makes it look a little almost overweight, and I want to slim it down somehow, but I still want to keep the proportions of the body to greenhouse relationship here. This is like 30% up here and 70% down here. So how can we keep the relationship and still make it look slimmer? There's one simple solution to this, and that is to create a shoulder line that stretches across the entire length of the car and breaks up this massive ocean of a body surface that we have right there. It's very simple. So I just want to have a shoulder line that stretches from the tip of the new design of the headlights that we're going to create, and then through the door handles right here, and then into the tail lights on the other side. And that will be a more of a distinct line, sharper line to break up this mass. That's gonna make this height look shorter than it is right now. One more thing about CLS is that the greenhouse sits on top of a bubble. The greenhouse, it feels like the greenhouse is just a little tiny bubble on top of this massive just mass underneath. You can see it more clearly if you have a straight front view of the CLS450. You can see just how far the hood goes up, raises up before it meets the greenhouse and the windshield. We need to address that somehow. This is another Mercedes current trend that I think the overall design language of Mercedes right now is a little bit too bubbly. It's not defined enough. So what I want to do is bring down this line right here. I want to bring it down and reduce this height right here that we have from the top of the grille to the start of the windshield. This needs to come down to maybe about here, just a couple of inches, to not have this ski slope that we have right here. This is almost a continuous line downwards, and it's not defined here enough with a sharp edge right here, and then continues into the hood. So it needs a little bit more definition right there. So that's basically what I do with the front end. Now looking at the rear end here, I think just some styling touches first. These outlets, I think these should be AMG only and not on these base models. We can put styling features like that, performance events and stuff like that, put it on the AMGs, but leave it on the base models such as this one. And another thing with the rear end of the CLS here, I think the S-Class has a little bit of the same problem, which I did a video on before. That is the structure and the definition here as well. You can see that we almost have the same problem as we have in the front. The slope here, it just slopes down, and it never goes back up and creates a trunk for the car. So what I want to do is just define this trunk a bit more, widen the graphics of the rear end. So I want to have this feel like a wider car by playing around with the positioning of the graphics, and of course add this shoulder line to this design as well, to this view as well. That's basically what I want to try and do and just have some fun with here with the CLS450. I hope you're going to enjoy it. And let's jump in and continue here, and let's see how this is going to turn out. So here we are, of course, in Photoshop, and just these first initial changes to the design when I'm using the liquify tool right here, you can see that, at least in my opinion, it just looks a lot more Mercedes and a lot more German and a lot less Korean, and it can't be mixed with a Hyundai now, for example, which I think, honestly, the original design is starting to look more like that. But bringing back this originality that is the elegance of Mercedes, and some of you might say that this is going to look exactly like the previous models and the previous CL and the CLS, and that's kind of the point. It's still gonna have a slimmer design, so that meaning that the graphic features in the front is going to have they're not gonna be as high as they have been on previous models. And considering some of the facelifts that we've seen over years, or not just facelifts, but generation to generation from model to model, I think it's even more important now to really keep the identity of the brands intact by keeping a similar graphic design on the cars, even though the car range, the years from model to model might range 20 years, we still should have some connection between all those models, and then play around with the proportions if we want to, which I think is going to be of course, huge deal now with the EQS, which is Mercedes' luxury Tesla Model S competitor, is coming out right now. I think it's gonna have some funky proportions. It's gonna be a fun review of that car, probably on my second channel if you want to go and subscribe to that channel. But here, we're almost done with the front view of the CLS, and here is the chamfer that I wanted to create, just to tie in the graphic features of the car. So with this chamfer, you create this framing of the front end, and it creates a connection between the light on the far side to the middle and the grille in the lower part of the grille, because the chamfer is a continuation of the bottom line of the grille that stretches and then just takes care of the headlights. And as you can see, also the shoulder line, I think, really adds, it takes away a lot of the mass of the side by adding this line here. It's too big of a surface to have nothing happening in, and to me that's the definition of a fat surface. It's a surface that is totally open, which has absolutely nothing going on in it. There's no tension in the design. I think that's lacking in the side of this CLS as well. So this was the front view. Now we're gonna jump into the rear here. And first of all, start with the proportions of the car, just like we did with the Mercedes S-Class in a previous video from a few months back. If you wanna go and check that out, you can do that. Because I think Mercedes now needs to structure the rear ends a little bit more as well. It's a Mercedes, it's supposed to have some presence, and it's supposed to be planted on the ground, and I just don't think the new S-Class, the E-Class, is a little bit better in that regards. The new E-Class looks pretty planted from the rear, but I think it's lacking in the CLS and in the S-Class as well, so I wanted to add that in addition to working just a little bit with the graphics to have it be a little bit wider looking when you look at it from the rear. Thanks so much for watching. I'm the TheSketchMonkey. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.